Weeks, mass shootings have made school security a top priority, getting more officers in the building sometimes. But the WBZ-TV team is joining forces with CBS News investigations and uncovering an unintended side effect. Children as young as elementary age being arrested in the hallways of their schools. WBZ's Christina Hager takes a look at the long-term effects and one local program keeping kids out of handcuffs.
I ask that this doesn't happen to anyone else's kid.
He was 16 when cell phone cameras caught a Brockton officer kneeling on his neck and handcuffing him. In a year when Massachusetts schools were overwhelmed with violence in the hallways. We agreed not to show the teenager's father to protect his son's privacy as he spoke to us in his native Cape Verdean Creole.
It's a very sad situation for me, and my son is traumatized.
The officer was cleared. Back at work now in the same hallways where that boy is still a student, accused of assault and caught up in the Massachusetts criminal system. School districts report arrest numbers to the federal government once every couple years. And a CBS News analysis of the most recent data available shows students are ending up in cuffs before they even make it to high school. Massachusetts elementary schools called police on kids 22 times in a single year. 3 were arrested. The WBZ-TV team also looked at 6th through 8th graders in the state. Over the last 5 years, middle schools in Dennis Yarmouth, Swampscott, Douglas, and Randolph reported arresting a combined half-dozen adolescents, plus 3 more summoned to court.
I got mixed up in a lot of different things.
When Zaire Richardson was 14, she had her first interaction with Boston police.
What does it do to the mindset of a child to have police swoop in and see those handcuffs?
I just felt like they already made the decision, like I'm going to jail, so I just felt very lost and just frightened.
It's removing you from your family, from your peers, and putting you in a category that's going to continue to perpetuate that identity, and it's going to be more harmful for you coming out.
Sarah Coughlin heads up the Charlestown Coalition, working with the Boston District Attorney to keep kids away from criminal courts, instead involving them in activities that invest in the community.
It's so nice to meet so many of you.
Like this program called Turn It Around, which just created a new chapter.
I was getting weekly calls from therapists, guidance counselors, teachers, asking for us to connect or bring kids in to turn it around that were just too young, and I had to keep turning these kids away.
This month, Turn It Around Junior started to help those younger kids.
I'm gonna open it up.
Zaire Richardson is in charge, emotional when she imagines what her younger self would have thought.
What would your 10-year-old self say if she saw you now?
I'm very surprised with how we turned out.
As for this young man, he awaits another court hearing this week. His father pleading for schools to consider how they could have turned this around.
He's a good student, he gets good grades. Even though what happened wasn't a good thing, the cops shouldn't have handled it like that.
When we ran the arrest numbers by school administrators, some questioned the accuracy of what they themselves reported. And because of our questions, some are now taking a much closer look at their own arrest rates. For the I-Team, Christina Hager, WBZ News.